In today's video, we're going to take a look at a new folding knife from the folks at Schrade. It's the SCH305. They're calling this one the Ultra Glide. That's coming up on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. So, the folks at Schrade were kind enough to send me one of their new SCH305 Ultra Glide knives so I can show it to you. That's what we're going to do. Before we get started though, it is almost November. It's like October the 27th right now. I'm back here in the state-of-the-art outdoor studio here at Survival on Purpose Worldwide headquarters, and the mosquitoes are still highly active right now. So I'm out of juice for the old Thermocell, which I'll be honest with you, it does okay, but I think these mosquitoes I've got are, I think they consider it a party favor. But anyway, I digress. If you happen to see a mosquito on my forehead or something, just let me know, please. So, but again, the folks at Schrade were kind enough to send me one of these new designs they've got coming out, and it's the SCH305. I say it's new because the only place I've seen this for sale so far is on their website. It is in stock, so I'm sure it's a 2017 design. Haven't seen this one yet, but it's got some really cool features. It's a pretty big, full-size knife. Man, those mosquitoes are getting me. So anyway, without a lot of rambling, let me take you down the old stump top. We'll talk about the specs of this thing, and then we'll get to doing some of that knife stuff. By the way, my friend John over at Hog Holsters was kind enough to send me this really cool mug. So anyway, thanks to John. So wow, if I can make it through the mosquitoes, we'll continue this. So this is the Schrade SCH305, and it is a pretty cool looking knife. Let's tell you about the specs of this thing real quick, and then we'll get busy on some knife stuff. Move this out of the way. We're going to for a little paper test here in a minute. But so this knife features a 3.5-inch drop point blade of 9CR18 MOV high carbon steel. It's got kind of a really fine stone wash finish on it, which I really like compared to some of the other coatings they put on. And oh yeah, for you folks that are still stuck in the metric system, that is 8.89 centimeters on the blade length. It's got a 4.75-inch or 12.07 centimeter stainless steel handle with a G10 insert on both sides, so it gives you a little bit of grippiness there, but it is stainless steel, so you got the strength of stainless. It has an overall length open of 8.19 inches or 20.8 centimeters, and the weight of this thing is just under 6 ounces, or about 168 grams. It features ambidextrous thumb knobs, so that's one on each side for whichever hand you want to use. It has a thumb rest on the blade, which I think is really cool. Basically, the edge of the very top of the blade here has got just a little indentation that if you want to choke up and put your thumb right there, it really nests in there really good. At least it does for me. And we'll show you that in a little in use in just a minute. It also has some jimping here at the top for your thumb. A little bit of jimping on the bottom here for, I guess, to help you with your grip. It has a lanyard hole right there and a tip down right-handed pocket carry clip. That's one thing I really think Schrade could work on is making their knives ambidextrous. I realize that's kind of what we're getting. Look at that. You see that? Look at that. That mosquito had already got some blood in him. I mean, that quick. Golly. So anyway, as I was saying, I think that's one thing that I think Schrade could do maybe to even improve their product even more than it already is, and that's to make it more ambidextrous. They could very easily put a couple of studs over here and make this clip ambidextrous. They could even make it tip up or tip down. It would probably add a little bit to the cost in the manufacturing, but I don't think it would be a lot. And speaking of the cost in this thing, I don't know what the street price is going to be. The manufacturer price on this thing on their website is $39, so I'm guessing this is going to land somewhere in about the $20 to $25 range, under $30 on Amazon. And I just want to show you a couple things. First, it's called the Ultra Glide. It's got a really nice bushing in it. I don't know what kind it is. It's really smooth, and it flips out really easily. And I got a feeling the more and more I use it, the more it's going to flip, and the easier it's going to flip. It's not quite at the point where I can flip it all the way open like this, but it's close. And I'm only been using it for just a couple of hours, so I have no doubt it's going to just continue to get smoother, and it opens really easy with using the thumb stud. It is a liner lock. If I did not mention that, I'll quit flipping it around now and making all this movement, and we'll get to doing some knife stuff now. Let me grab some wood here. I know this is not a bushcraft style outdoor knife, but it is what I like about it's a pretty good sized blade. It's almost a 4-inch blade. It fills your hand up really well, fills my hand up really well, and just Really good, comfortable grip on it. The jimping back here is not really aggressive, but it does give you a little, another mosquito, does give you a little more purchase. I just like having a big solid knife. This thing has a lockup that is strong can be. It has zero wobble in it. So let's get a piece of wood and see what we can do with this thing. I'm going to kind of go outside the bounds on several things. This has got a pretty solid lockup. I do not recommend batoning folding knives, but we're going to do a little bit of toning with this one now just to see how much it stresses the lockup, because it is so solid. And this is a small piece we're going to baton. We're going to work on a little firecraft here. And I don't feel like this is really abused because this is pretty dry wood, and this is definitely a small piece, but we're going to try to get it down just a little bit smaller. And that's going to do it. That's fine there. Still straight, so we didn't bang it very hard. We're going to do some feathers because that's just what I do, right? Oh man. Another excellent edge. We're going to have to get a little close up on this one again. And this again, by the way, this is it's got a full flat grind again on the blade, not a hollow grind, which is I'm glad to see that Schrade is changing some of their options on their grinds. Nothing wrong with the hollow grind, but I really like this kind of flat grind design myself. Let me get you a little close up on these feathers. Now this wood is not really the best feather wood. It's almost too dry, but man, they're just carving like, really, look at that. Wow, that was a nice one there. Look at those little bitty feathers. I think if I could catch one of these mosquitoes, I could cut his wings off. Okay, well, you get the idea. I mean, that's a pretty decent little pile of really fine little shavings here. And this does not have doesn't feel like it's got a really sharp spine on it, but I'm going to take the old Schrade ferrule rod, the big one that's coming out next year, and we'll just see what happens, if we can get some sparks on it. So not really excellent, but it's doing it, so let's keep on. We're going to get a fire here. Have confidence, and I don't care if you like the way I'm doing it or not. I'm not pulling it away. Okay, come on, burn, baby, burn, finally. Oh, there's some leftover magnesium there. And you can see the blade is not really much the worse for wear, so pretty good there. But we did get a fire going with it, which is I'm happy to report. Maybe it'll help get rid of some of these old mosquitoes here. By the way, I did want to show you, when you got it in your pocket, this is what it looks like, about that much sticking up. So not incredibly deep carry, but not really sticking up a lot either. Just enough to kind of get a hold of your hands. Open up. If you've seen many videos, you're probably aware that here at the Survival on Purpose Worldwide Headquarters, we have an absolute state-of-the-art knife testing facility. And one of the stations at our knife testing facility is the balance testing station. And we typically test all fixed blade knives at this extremely high-tech balance testing station. But we usually don't do the folders because, you know, basically the hinge here is just, that's the main structural component of the knife. It's not really designed for stress, as such as the impact that is occurred during the absolute industry standard balance testing we do here. So, but I did have a suggestion from Indian Prepper 24/7. I want to give him credit for that. So I have modified, and we have a prototype folding knife balance testing facility going on here. So we're going to try it and see if it may or may not function properly. So bear with me. But this is the first time international worldwide debut of the folding knife balance testing facility. I don't think you'll find a comparable facility anywhere in the knife industry. So with that being said, let's just see how it works. you're probably going to have to do a little bit more work to the folding knife balance testing component, but we're going to call this one balanced, and we will continue to work on that and improve that as we go, because as you're probably aware, I mean, I spare no time or expense in maintaining the absolute finest testing facility that I possibly can, and so we're definitely going to continue to work on that. Thanks again to Indian Prepper 24/7 for giving me that great idea and the great suggestion. I will continue to modify and improve it, and hopefully it'll meet your expectations too there. So Chuck Norris can fold an airplane into a piece of notebook paper. Anyway, this has been a quick look at the new for 2017 Schrade SCH305, and I gotta say, I like this knife. I like the fact that it is a pretty good sized big knife. It's not a recurve. It is not a doesn't have a traction finish or asphalt finish or anything on it. I like the drop point style and shape of this blade. I like the fact that it is a flat grind. I think that's really cool. I'm right-handed, so it really doesn't bother me very much, but I do think it would be a good thing for Schrade to work on the ambidextrousness. Is that a word? How about ambidextrituity? One of those, just to work on maybe making their knives a little more left-hand friendly for folks. But there you go. Once again, thanks to the folks at Schrade for sending me this so I can show it to you. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for clicking that thumbs up, for sharing this video with all your friends, and thank you so very much for doing all your Amazon shopping through the Survival on Purpose links. I really appreciate your support. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident. So be prepared. I'll see you next time. Get really look at that right there. You see that?